Gone are the days of generic, one-size-fits-all marketing campaigns. With AI today, marketers are empowered to tap into the vast amounts of data available and gain deeper insights into consumers' preferences, behaviors, and demands. During MARKETECH APAC's first roundtable in the Philippines, we gathered industry leaders to explore the impact of AI in marketing, its potential benefits, the challenges it presents, and more. We have heard from the presentation of Conrad Feldman, CEO and co-founder of Quantcast, about how AI will make marketing more human. Meanwhile, the roundtable discussion, which was moderated by Sojin Park, Senior Sales Manager for Southeast Asia at Quantcast, delved into the limitless possibilities and implications of AI in the realm of marketing. Joining the discussion were marketing experts, namely Blessy Cruz, To Go Group Incorporated, Benjamin Quiroga Rivera, Emosleep, Greg Anonas, Emperador Distillers Incorporated, Eric Christopher Riola, Firefly Electric and Lighting Corporation, A.R. Polinar, Flash Express, Rochelle Vandenberg, FWD Insurance, Brian Agustin Reyes, Lalamove, Kat Costas, Levi's, Andrew Guevara, Malayan Insurance, Pocholo Garcia, Malayan Insurance, Albert Budahim, Primer Group of Companies, and Munmun Nath, UnionDigital Bank. Now, let's take a look at the highlights.
Welcome to MARKETECH APAC and Quantcast Philippine Roundtable event, AI in Marketing. In today's roundtable discussion, we aim to explore the different opportunities and possibilities about AI in marketing. Are you ready to share and learn from one another? Okay, good.
The machine learning approach that we use to programmatic advertising solves everyday challenges by predicting relevant audiences, uniquely valuing impressions, and sort of autonomously controlling campaigns for multiple objectives. Using machine learning technology, we can assess a lot of data. We can actually go much deeper. So we can start with using the underlying signals that we have from Quantcast measure. Now these signals are really messy. Each of these in isolation isn't very useful, but if you can consider a large number of them, you can start to understand patterns that can be indicative of preferences. And so what we're able to do here is build unique predictive models of audiences for a given advertiser's campaigns.
I'll be honest, it's one of those terms that encompasses so much and you struggle sometimes to really break it down with what exactly does it mean. We are heavily biased towards Google and Facebook, and they've made it incredibly easy in using their algorithms and machine learning. You know, it allows us to be a dumb company for a lot of reasons. Having said that, what we've seen particularly with this great consumer product, ChatGPT, is just how accessible and easy it is to visualize and sort of ideate, particularly creatives.
How we use AI, it's more of the automation and personalization. It helps us with the media in terms of identifying the right segments, the right assets that will be served to each of the segments. I think one of the big challenges is such a big buzzword, right? AI. And we know those buzzwords, and when you talk about MarTech, it comes with an investment. So like as a marketer, right, how do you balance the few dollars that you have with so many platforms? So of course, we try to invest on the proven platform. So definitely we need the reach. What is that space that we have for test and learn, I guess? So when we do those test and learn, it's not a huge investment. But of course, in terms of expectation, when you're talking to upper management, right, there is high returns that's expected. So what are the ROAS associated to this cost? And I think the big challenge for us is, do we even have the people who can use the technology, right?
Well, number one, we use AI e-com-wise on increasing our checkout. Because like 100 people would add to cart, but then like only 5 to 7 would check out. Second is actually intensifying finding the lookalike. Easily AI can help us on the e-com side because it's tech to tech. But also we're seeing on the retail space, right, going omni. So we're sitting on a 1.7 million email database. But the match in Facebook is very low and the match in Google is very low. So maybe, a Quantcast can also help us find where the rest of this 1.7 million database are going in a way that I can drive them to our offers.
For sure, I think in the Philippines, a lot of us are realizing Facebook and Google are literally part of every single plan. I think where Quantcast can really sit in. So how we're helping these brands beyond the Facebook and the Google environment, like how do we reach out to those rest of the users in the less crowded space? And I think that's a really exciting place to be in a new market like Philippines, and where Quantcast can potentially help you guys meet those ROAS and sales goals.
So on our end, we want the whole experience of choosing us to be smooth for everyone, not just for the clients, but also for the people on the inside. AI for me should not be something that will replace people. It should improve. We're never going to take away the option to talk to someone.
For my industry, it's really more on efficiency. So we use AI for planning, forecasting. At the same time, it's really useful for us, making sure that our operations is really ready on the data that we are receiving to our partners and customers, making sure that we have enough riders and we have the SLA in terms of the delivery of their parcel to the customers. So I think this advantage will be focused more on the quan versus the qual because of AI. So we might not be verify the data that we receive, and we actually take actions immediately and not verifying the reason why. And aside from that, the limitations will be the time and investment. It will really take time to really develop that will match the current system or the current app that we are using, since we are a technology-enabled company. So we need to work with our different region as well to make sure we are in sync in terms of the data and also of the development of the data that we need.
Day-to-day task, AI has really given me a lot of improvement in terms of efficiency and productivity, and especially the data-driven decision-making. So as someone who handles the day-to-day performance optimizations, AI can really give you more time to do the strategic thinking part instead of just optimizing daily, identifying the right audience, or thinking of creative. So AI also gives the advantage of creative optimization, developing what kind of communication is effective for your audience, improving your metrics or click-through rates through the AI-generated content. And in terms of challenges, I would say it's the reliability. There is also the part of fraud. Some AI partners or programmatic partners, they do give you a lot of conversions at a very efficient way. However, there are some who's really doing it just for the money. We really need to monitor, validate everything that you see in terms of the reports, performance, and of course the business output.
When it comes to AI, we think like it's totally a boon to everyone, but it does have some things that it can't handle. Like for example, strategic thought and entrepreneurial thinking. It's kind of hard to get that, and also with the use of AI itself, a fool with a tool is still a fool. So you still have to maintain the quality of the prompts that you get to be able to maximize it. What we're concerned about more is like, as we move further into AI and we get into things that people have not done before, like for example, we work with endorsers, right? But endorsers, you just record them and they do advertising and then that's it. But with AI, you can actually take a photo of the endorser, turn them into a digital chatbot, and they can actually have interactions with your consumers and you can guide them. So we just want to see probably how you can put that into contract form and the implications in that in terms of contracts and dealing with people.
As a marketer, I tend to have a optimistic, but a rather cautious optimism when you talk about technologies. I'd like to think all of these technologies are here and it will continue to be optimized. And as a marketer, it would be best for us to be able to learn it and to be able to immediately adopt and see areas where we could already apply it. Maybe to a certain extent, maybe in our organization today, part of the challenge is that when you talk about technology such as these, is that people tend to focus on the negatives rather than maybe where it could benefit, and which is to me very much like human nature. We tend to put our guardrails up and protect rather than really trying to understand and better appreciate. And it is in the understanding is that we could better use or employ all of these technologies within the organization. But I say it's a cautious level of optimism because it's still very fresh, very new, at least from a consumer perspective or standpoint. And as a marketer, of course, you don't want to be a dinosaur in your industry. You want to learn the technology. And that's what we're trying to employ today, bits and pieces of that. But we do know that we're barely scratching the surface right now, especially if you talk about maybe a country like the Philippines. In the industry where we operate today, it tends to be still very traditional. My fear, as a marketer as well, is that we always talk about consumer interaction, and my fear is that with all of these technologies around, and when you talk about, let's say, for instance, AI, I hope, and it should not substitute, let's say, human interaction.
AI and machine learning can improve everyday advertising experiences for billions of consumers. They can help marketers get better return on investment. They can help the content producers that invest so much to produce content capture good revenues for producing that original content. Technology can give us magic powers to let humanity shine. And I do think over the long term, AI will have some impacts in terms of how we work and how we live. AI is math, not magic, but technology, when combined with human ingenuity and creativity, really can be magic.